In the city of Ibadan, where orange sunsets fell over noisy streets and horns argued with birdsong, Zina began again. The shelter was different. Clean, quiet, and filled with girls whose eyes held stories like hers. For the first time, Zina didn't feel like a ghost in someone else's home. She was Zina, a girl who had survived. School wasn't easy at first. The city children laughed at her accent, her faded books, and the way she always asked for permission before speaking. But her mind was quick, and her silence was full of thought. Within months, she became one of the best in her class. Still, at night, she sometimes dreamed of Aba Ndu, the mango trees, the red soil, and her mother's laughter. She didn't hate Madame Remy anymore, but she didn't miss her either. One day, her social worker asked, "Zina, would you like to speak at the Girls Rising conference next month? Share your story." Zina hesitated. She was used to hiding her words. But then she remembered the letter. How that one piece of paper had changed her life. She stood on that stage in front of strangers, trembling at first. Then she said, "I once thought silence was survival. But I've learned that silence can also be a cage." I wrote a letter, and I was heard. The hall stood still. Then came the claps, soft at first, then thunderous. After that, Zina wrote more letters. Not once to hide, but once to share, to girls still trapped, to teachers unsure what to do, to lawmakers who could make a difference. She became a voice for girls like her. A voice that once whispered in fear, now speaking boldly in truth. Years later, when she returned to Aba Ndu for the holidays, she wasn't just the girl who once scrubbed floors in Lagos. She was Zina Nkem, the founder of Zina's Voice, an NGO fighting for the rights of village girls across Nigeria. And when a small girl shyly tugged her arm and asked, "Are you the one from the TV?" Zina knelt down, smiled, and said, "Yes. But more importantly, I'm someone who believes you matter too." Madame Remy wasn't left untouched. After Zina's letter reached the authorities, Madame Remy was investigated. Several girls had passed through her house over the years, all under the same promise: "Come to Lagos. I'll put you in school." Most never saw a classroom. She was charged with child labor and emotional abuse. Though she had lawyers and excuses, the letter, Zina's letter, was strong enough to open every door she'd slammed shut. In the end, Madame Remy was sentenced to community service and was blacklisted from any child caregiving role. Years later, she sat alone in a small apartment with peeling walls. The designer bags gathered dust. No one came to visit. Sometimes, she watched Zina on TV and scoffed, but deep down, her bitterness was the echo of guilt she refused to name. As for Zina's father, he returned to Aba Ndu a broken man. People whispered, he let them take his daughter. He chose silence. He did not fight back. Instead, he sat under the mango tree where Zina once read his old newspapers. When Zina came home after 5 years, he stood up slowly, shame painted across his face. "Zina," he said, "I failed you. But I never stopped praying you'd come back stronger than I ever was." She didn't hug him. But she sat with him in silence. She left him a radio, her newest book, and a handwritten letter, this time, a letter of mercy, not survival.